Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with jazz trombonist Michael Dease. This veteran jazz cat has been at it for quite some time and always finds a way to make fans happy with his sound. On his latest album, 2017's All These Hands, it's a journey going from the Mississippi Delta, Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and New York. It's a great soundscape. Michael is always brimming with music, teaching, and good ideas, and it was again a pleasure to catch up with him on the heels of this new album. So please dig this interview, my friends.
Right on. Michael, thank you for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure, Joe.
So you're on your way to a gig right now?
Yeah, gig of sorts. I'm speaking at different high schools in the area today in Durham and Raleigh, North Carolina. Yesterday it was Asheville and Brevard. I've got a jazz camp called the Brevard Jazz Institute that I'm privileged and happy to serve as the director of. We're doing some outreach and getting high school students involved and aware of what's happening. It's a lot of fun.
Cool, man. So let me get into the new album. It's a great listen. I've really been digging it. All These Hands. Talk to me about how you put this album together and how you feel about it.
Oh, thanks. All These Hands is my most personal project to date. It's based on research that I've conducted in all of the major cities and with many of the major jazz musicians from each region and cities like the Midwest territories, like Kansas City, cities of New Orleans, the Gullah region of Georgia, Philadelphia, New York, specifically Brooklyn, Detroit, Chicago, Washington, D.C., all the major stops that jazz took as it spread throughout the United States. I wrote songs, composed music dedicated to each one of those vibes and all of the idiosyncratic musical characteristics that are particular to each region. But they all relate because they come from the same place.
How is it going to feel? How do you feel about performing this music live?
Oh, man, it's incredibly cathartic. My own personal journey through the music from Georgia to New York, all up the eastern seaboard, to where I currently live outside of Detroit. I live in East Lansing right now. It parallels my experience in the music. It highlights the relationship between the urban, the city, and the rural, the country. So this particular music alternates between quintet, which is the urban sound, and trio, consisting of bass, guitar, and trombone. And that captures like the blues, country, really rooty, earthy sound. It's very fun to play. We did a CD release in Lansing, Michigan, with Rodney Whitaker and Randy Napoleon, both musicians from the record. We had a blast. Absolutely fun. Sold out house. I'm looking forward to doing more of those.
So what else is on the horizon for you?
Like I mentioned before, the Brevard Jazz Institute is a real special project of mine. I'm traveling a lot this summer, teaching jazz all over the world. I'll be at Skidmore College in Saratoga Springs, New York, for that jazz camp. Working with Ulysses Owens and the New Century Jazz Quintet in Tokyo, Japan this summer. That'll be in August. As always, I continue my collaborations with the Christian McBride Big Band and then the Dizzy Gillespie All-Star Big Band, Rodney Whitaker Quintet, and several other things. This just released, this is my 11th record. I can't believe that time has flown so quickly. My 11th record, and like I said, I feel like this is the one that, gets to the core of me the most. I think everybody feels that way about their most current record.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I agree. I always hear that. Well, Michael, thank you for opening up about the album. I'm looking forward to spinning it on the show, and good luck with everything. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, thanks, Joe. Yeah, thank you for supporting, and I appreciate your ears and everything that you do for the music.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to yet another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Michigan, New York, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Michael for his music and his cool. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com. And for all things Neon Jazz, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.